Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, I'm going to install some HID light bulbs in my Volvo 850. Every once in a while I'll hear about people complaining about the lights being dim in their P80 Volvo, these 850 SV70 series cars, and most of the time it's because the shiny part on the back side of the headlight assembly has gotten dim and is no longer shiny, and that's used to reflect the light onto the street. What usually starts that downhill spiral is when a headlight gets chipped like this here. There's a little hole in the light assembly. You don't take the light down and seal that up from the inside, and then dirt begins to get in there little by little, and you know, God forbid it's a bigger hole, the process happens quicker. Gets in there, gets on that shiny reflective thing, makes that dull, and your lights no longer project out for you. Now once that starts happening, there's no easy cure, but I've heard of people spraying them with high gloss chrome paint and stuff like that to get them back, but you know, that would have to be paint that could take the heat as well. So most time you just need to replace the assembly. I don't know if putting HID bulbs in there would make a difference or not, but I'm going to do that to mine. Now my lights are old, but to me they shine out on the road just fine. But a buddy of mine had some in his S70, kept trying to encourage me to get a set, which they only normally cost about $60, $70. He bought a set for his son's 94 850, and he said his son didn't like them, so he sold them to me at a discount. So I'm going to go ahead and install them on my vehicle. Now, I shot some before video of my headlights at night, and I'm going to shoot some after I replace them here real quick. Now here's the setup for them for each side. You got the bulb and the wires that connect it. You have the ballast there that you have to connect and store so that they don't get damaged during the way. And if you are going to make them permanent, the best way to do this is to take some backing or the back off to the light assembly and drill this hole in there. Not sure what size that is. It looks like an inch hole, but the purpose of that hole is so this gasket here can sit in there and keep that back of the assembly sealed up for you there. So that's going to be the plug for that hole. And some people even report that these bulbs last longer than the normal bulbs in the vehicle. Other than the light kit that you'll purchase, you want to get a couple of these spare if you can to mount your gasket in. A 1-inch drill bit should work. An 1.25 inch might be fine too. And then you definitely want some rubber gloves. You do not want to touch these bulbs by accident with your hands, because those bulbs are very fragile. So you want to make sure you have clean, dry gloves. You may need an ohm meter to test your wires. Make sure you get the colors right, just in case your colors are different than mine coming off your bulb. And these caps that you get, they have gaskets in there, so make sure you have the gaskets so that you keep that stuff sealed weather tight. Now, I don't normally hear about complaints with the Volvo lights, but occasionally I'll see a vehicle that has the wire harness going to the bulbs that's rotted away. If that's the case, especially in the newer vehicles than mine, the 96, 97s and newer, especially the 98s, you'll need to replace those wires, and that may or may not be a source of the bulbs not lasting long. But at any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and install these. Now this is the high beam here, this is the low beam here. It's a little harder to get at, but I'm gonna try to do it with the assembly still installed in the car. Now it's easy to remove the light assembly if you want to do that, but I'm gonna try to do it with it in. You can see the link below for how to remove the entire light assembly. Now the problem with removing the light assembly is you got to mess with these corner lights, and they are fragile, brittle, they like to break, and You normally need to move this latch to get the light assembly out, but basically you have a bolt here and 2 bolts on this side, and that light assembly will fall forward for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is reach back here, turn my little plug a 1/4 turn, and pull my cover out. So now that I have my cover out, I got to get that light bulb out. And these are different size for different vehicles. So I'm pretty sure I just turn that a 1/4 turn and pull that light bulb out of the assembly. Okay, I got my hand on there. I turn it counterclockwise and pull it out. And as you can see, there's a break on my wire right there. So you got to be careful with these wire harness, and be careful with these light bulbs. You don't want to damage them. And I'm going to unplug the light bulb from right there. So let me get my gloves on. Okay, I took my stock bulb and dropped it down in the glove so that it's nice and clean and I don't mess it up. And it's a basic 9006 bulb. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is screw the light bulb in. And by looking at the case, the 2 fatter prongs go in the bottom, and that black piece, whatever that is, goes in the bottom, and that tip goes in top. So I'm going to slide this in there like that, and then I'm going to twist it to lock it into the assembly. So let me go ahead and install that. I'm going to use 2 hands because I don't want to touch it or mess it up. Alright, on your standard plug, the one that comes from the car with the brown wire and the gold wire, you need to figure out which one of those is positive and which one is ground. Volvo likes to use the brown as the ground, so I'm going to try to see if the yellow is positive. So I got my ohm meter here, I got the light assembly on, and I'm going to put the black one on the battery ground or on a bolt, and I'm going to probe that yellow one to see if I get power there. Okay, I have my meter over there on voltage, and I'm going to reach down here and touch the yellow wire, and I have 12 volts. So actually that's correct. The yellow wire has power and the brown wire is the ground. Okay, I got the bulb twisted and locked in place. Next, I'm going to plug in the old bulb socket to the new bulb socket here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. So when you plug in your plug from here, make sure your red is plugged in to the side of the plug that has a yellow, and your black wire is plugged into the side that has the brown, because the brown is ground on your plug. Now that that is plugged in, you want to feed that stuff down into the light assembly and put that plug on your modified cap and screw your cap on. Okay, everything on the inside of the light is going to be like that. Everything on the outside of the light is going to be like that. Now I'm going to hook up the balance. And of course that has a top to help you guide it in. So that's what it looks like right now. And I'm going to hook up the balance. Okay, so when I plug this side of that in, that actually feeds the power out to the ballast. And then when I plug the ballast in here, that feeds power back through these things into the bulb. I got a little bit confused by that, but that's what's going on. So now I take this plug and these 2 plugs and plug it into my ballast connections, and then I'll be done on the driver's side. Okay, now I have my ballast hooked up. I got the big plug plugged in. I got the red to the red and the black to the black. Now you want to tuck this balance down somewhere. Either tape it, zip tie it, or secure it somewhere somehow. Now I'm going to repeat those steps on the passenger side real quick. Okay, when I got on the passenger side, you see I have some bare wire on my connector, so I need to tape that up or secure that somehow so those wires don't touch and short out my new light. Okay, now that I got the passenger side in, everything's secure, I'm going to go ahead and turn the car on and turn the lights on to make sure they work. And then when it gets dark tonight, I'm going to take them out on a test drive. The guy that sold them to me told me that these lights do not like being left in the on position or the daylight running light switch being on. That gives them a little pulse when you cycle through the starter to start them, and that may cause them not to fire up properly, that little blimp of power that they get. So if you have your daylight running light setting on, turn that setting off, turn the headlights on, and make sure you turn them off every time you cut the car off and on. Don't leave them on in the on position. Now, my car, the daylight running lights are not on, they're off. So I'm gonna come on the inside of the car here, make sure my headlight switch is off. I'm gonna turn my ignition on. I'm gonna go out and turn the lights on. Now I'm gonna go and see if those headlights are on. They are on and shining bright. They do look a lot whiter than the other ones did. I thought the other ones were white. So tonight I'm gonna take them out on a test drive and see how they perform. So I'm gonna cut the switch off and cut the car off. Now my lights are old. They are on and shining, but to me they are on. Now while I drive and travel around, I never get complaints about my headlights being too bright as I approach people. These, I think, are 4K brightness, maybe 4500. I'll verify that, make a note in the remarks section, and I'll see how they run tonight. But the only problem I have with lights is when it's at night and it's raining, it's difficult for me to see the road. And that, I think, has to do with my age, not so much the headlights. So, thanks for watching, and there it is. If you want to upgrade your lighting, that's how you do it. Okay, I'm trying to record a little bit on a couple of our darker streets. So as you can see, this is my headlight pattern. I'm out by the airport in Albuquerque. It's about 8:15 p.m. The road is somewhat dark, but there is a little bit of other lighting. So I'm gonna cut this camera off and on a couple of times, trying to get you to see what my normal headlights look like. I don't think they're bad. This person just really wanted me to try these HIDs. Okay, so these are the newer, brighter headlights coming down the road that I did yesterday. They look a little more pure, but not a whole lot brighter, so hopefully they won't bother people. And they are giving me a little bit more lighting, and probably on the outside look like a newer car. I'm turning on the Rio Bravo Boulevard. I'm gonna go up toward the airport so you can see what my headlights look like. Still a little bit of light around here. Beam is where it is, but the little bit of throw off's a little brighter. As you can see, going into the curve, I still have my beams low, but they are a little lighter. So let me shut it off. Here's a little building on the right during my route that I could shine my lights on so you can see my light pattern. So I'm gonna go in this parking lot and do a U-turn so you can see where my lights are doing, how they look before and after. So I'm gonna put all these little shots before and after. Okay, I'm gonna circle through this parking lot like I did yesterday in front of this business so you can see the different brightness of the lights and maybe even a different pattern of the lights. Let's see here, turn around in front of this building like I did last night. The lights are a little brighter, they're wider. Well, this is my light beam near a dark spot of the street near where I live. You can see the stop sign down there, and I'll do the same thing for the HIDs. So it's hunting for focus. But anyway, that's down the street where it gets out of focus. It's a little close where it gets in focus, but that's how the light beam looks, and that's what you can see. And here's the throw of the new headlights versus the old. The brightness makes them light up the street a lot better, I think. It's even letting the camera stay focused better. But that is the brightness of the new ones versus the old. So, have not had anybody complain or flash me. This is a view of the throw pattern of the lights. And if you want to adjust them, this is probably a thing to do. Pull a car kind of up close to a wall and see where the headlight beam hits the main part of the beam, and then back away. As you back away, the beam should not get any higher. If anything, it should start to drop lower. So, and if you look close, I don't know if you can see it, you'll see little rays of beam that throws up on the wall. Those help you see signs and things like that off the side of the road. It's just like a little bit of a scatter beam. Nothing like the concentrated beam that the headlights throw to help you see the actual road. Now when your headlights are adjusted properly, they'll throw the beam down the road. And what you want to be mindful of is if the car is loaded down in the back, how high will those pivots? Well, I have a little bit of stuff loaded in the back of my car, so hopefully that's the highest that they'll get. And with the car unloaded in the back, hopefully that pitch down a little bit. But what somebody told me was these Volvo light assemblies and headlights, they have patterns in the glass that help throw the beam a certain way. So here you're looking at the inside of a light assembly. Probably the low beam goes through here a certain way, through there. The high beams cast on this side over here on the right, and it's all designed to help reflect the light or direct the light in a pattern that's comfortable for your driving as well as the oncoming traffic. So if you got properly made light lenses, they'll help with the disbursement of the beam. And of course, these are Volvo. I see the Volvo tag on the inside. If you have some clear ones or some aftermarket ones, they might not do the job as well as the original ones do. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.